shocked, then shouted that he can't do that to him and that he have to give him chance to redeem himself, but Hyacinth just apologizes and said he won't. Hyacinth told Jason that he's worried for him and he think it was a mistake to let him get involved at all. Hyacinth said he knows Jason doesn't want to hear that, but he worked with his father and he was truly a great defender in person, so he won't let him go down the same path he did. Jason tells Hyacinth not to compare him to his father because he have nothing to do with him. Hyacinth pat Jason had while telling him to just stay out of that for him. Then he walked out and saw Neil and the other man talking, to which he wondered what are they up to. Then he orders his pet named Kim to keep an eye on them. Then he let it stick on the wall, slowly fading, then started to walk away while saying he won't let it happen again. Meanwhile, in Boone House, Atlas was shocked and asked Sasha if she really put a tracking device on him. Atlas also asks how did she really find him because there's no way she could do that without him noticing, to which Sasha teasingly asks him why no way she could do it. Then she walked closer to Atlas that made Atlas's face blush. Then she takes off the tracking device while asking him what did he think that is. Sasha shows the tracking device at Atlas while asking if he still doesn't believe her. Atlas asks her when did she have the chance to put it on him, to which Sasha responded after she slapped him in the face. That made Boone laugh hard and said he liked Sasha while Atlas was rubbing his face in the side. Then Boone shakes Sasha's hand while introducing himself as Atlas's godfather. Then Atlas said he was happy that they are getting along, but they should focus on what was really important, and he asked what are they going to do about the laboratory. Loon said he wish he could be of more help, but he has no idea where the lab is because the entire operation is kept secret, but he heard about it in passing from Commander Hyacinth and even didn't know its location, so the only way to find out is through Neil. Atlas asks Boondif is saying that they have to follow Neil around until they find the lab, but Sasha tells them to hold up and said maybe Atlas doesn't realize it, but is currently the most wanted man in the whole country, so there's no way he can go back into the city dressed like that. The next day Sasha and Atlas were hiding behind the electrical control panel beside the building. Then they peek out while Sasha told Atlas that all they have to do is keep their head down, grab what they need and go, to which Atlas understand. Inside the store, the TV announces that last night the DDA was brutally attacked while Sasha and Atlas walk inside awkwardly. Then the TV showed Atlas' picture while saying the culprit behind the attack is none other than the DDA's most trustworthy blade named Defender Atlas. The people in the store can't believe that Atlas has been corrupted and wonders what's the DDA going to do without Atlas. Then a man pointed at Atlas and asked if doesn't the guy he's pointing it looked like Atlas because he was even wearing a similar outfit. Sasha taps the man using her weapon. Then the other man asks him what he's talking about because nobody's even there, but the man said he swear Atlas was just right there. A few hours later in Boone House outside, Sasha asks how did she look. Atlas responded different, to which Sasha asks back what his words are supposed to mean. Then he sits on the tree on the ground and asks Sasha why did she follow him there, but Sasha just asks him what did he mean. Then she sits beside him while saying it's cold outside and is not the only one who gets to sit by the fire to change the topic. Still, Atlas tells her that she knows what he means and asks why she risks coming after him, and the DDA is probably going to claim she's corrupted too. Sasha responded he don't owe her anything if that's what he's wondering, and she did it for herself, to which surprised Atlas Sasha said when she saw him fighting against Jason she could tell he was in pain, and she know what it feels to be hurting when no one is there to help him. She also knows that Jason definitely hated her now. Atlas said he wondered how Jason handled all of it, but Sasha just asked him was his whole act really better than just telling Jason the truth. Atlas responded that the DDA means way more to Jason than it does to him, because for Jason it's practically a way of life, and he doesn't even want to imagine what Jason would do if he found out the demons he's been killing are actually innocent people. Atlas also said he couldn't do That to Jason, but now he has put the burden on her instead, but Sasha responded that she told him already not to worry about it because she has his own reason for joining the DDA, but she never pretended that she was some kind of hero. Then she said she's the one who should be worried about him because no one has killed more demons than him. Atlas said he had a feeling there's something wrong with the DDA, but he just ignored it. Sasha put his hand on Atlas's hand while telling him not to blame himself for it because he fought those demons to protect the world, but Atlas pulled back his hand while saying he's the one to blame because the truth is he didn't care, and he would have done anything to get revenge for Rachel then. Sasha walks away while telling him that she'll be right back, to which Atlas asks where is she going, but Sasha just tells him to wait because she has an idea. A few minutes later Sasha come back with Atlas and her uniform from the DDA. Then she gives it to Atlas. Atlas asks what he's supposed to do with it. Sasha responded that if they were really going to take down the DDA, then they should start today, and she told Atlas to throw the uniform in the fire. Then she pushed Atlas to walk closer to the fire while Atlas tells her it's silly, but still they throw their uniform forms in the fire. A few moments later they walking in the forest. Then Atlas asked Boond where is he taking them, but Boond asks him back if did he never learn patience, to which Atlas asks in return if he already forgets how he woke him up that morning. But Boond just responded that he did it because he overslept, but he will explain why he's taking him into the forest then. Boond said he can tell Sasha is a fierce fighter and she have the potential to become something far more powerful then. He said Atlas had always a unique talent for adapting and mastering new skills, but neither of them are ready to take on a commander because the commander of the DDA are hand-picked by the president, and each of them is a bigger monster than any demon, so if they want to take them down, they need to train. Sasha said if Atlas would tell her how he activated that black hole thing, they wouldn't need to train at all, to which Boond asked Atlas what Sasha is talking about. Atlas responded that he meant to tell him, but he was not even sure how to explain it, and said when he was about to be captured by Neil, he felt a new type of power surge through him, but it wasn't just that because it had been building the whole night, as if his Imperium was growing stronger and feeding off his energy. Then he said he wished he could access that power again, but he can't feel it at all anymore. Then Boond slaps his back hard while saying he's just full of surprises, but Atlas asks him if he's some kind of sadist because of his slap. Boond said he'd basically given up on studying the will of Imperiums, and now Atlas stumbles in there and gives him the biggest lead he has had in years. That made Sasha ask what he's talking about, and Atlas asked him why everything makes him laugh. Boond tells them to think about it, and said if corruption is something the DDA made up to control defenders, then why force them to detach from their emotions? Sasha answered that to create perfectly disciplined soldiers, to which Boond agreed, but said there are easier ways to do that. Then he said he thinks the DD are afraid, which made Atlas confused, but Boond said he couldn't tell them exactly. Still he's positive that it has to do with what happened to Atlas. Then Boond excitedly told Atlas that he have to tell him more and ask what did it feel like, if he's thinking of anything specific, and how did he learn that new ability, to which Atlas shouted at him to slow down. Then Atlas responded that he was not sure because there was so much fighting that he didn't have time to think about anything else. Boond said all they can do now is try and recreate the same feeling through combat, and there are no people for miles in either direction, so he and Sasha can fight to their heart's content, but Atlas said there is no time for it and they need to get back to the city before more innocent people are put in danger, because no one knows what the DDA is up to. Sasha said she think they should do it. Atlas was confused for a moment, but Sasha said Boond is right because they both need to get stronger, and they are only going to have one chance at it. If they fail, then nobody is ever coming to help those people. Then Sasha teasingly asks him if he's scared of fighting her. Then Atlas said he was not going to hold back, but Sasha teasingly said it wouldn't matter if he did. Then Atlas throws his swords towards Sasha, but Sasha easily avoided it while asking him if he expects her to block it with his staff, and do he really think so little of her. Then Atlas jumped towards Sasha while saying it was just a warm-up, to which Sasha smiled and said that's what she likes to hear. Then she swings her weapon to attack Atlas, who attacking back. Meanwhile, somewhere the demon got sliced by ice in half by Jason's ice sword. Then the other demon runs toward him while he thinks that killing demons is justice. One of the demons asks him if he's really so afraid that he can't see the truth. Then he squeezed the demon using his ice while angrily saying he knows the truth, but the other demon laughed, which made him confused. Then the demon asks him if that is his way of handling things because he can't hide his fears from himself. Jason stabs the demon using his sharp ice while angrily saying he's not hiding from anything, but the demon just tells him that his father was a better man than him. Jason gets more angrier and gather his ice while telling the demon to shut up. Then he slowly made a spear using his ice, while Hyacinth behind him asked him what was wrong and tells him to calm down, but when he fully succeeded in making a big spear, he throws it and it hit something that made a big explosion. Then he kneeled down in front of the building he destroyed while Hyacinth beside him asked him what have he done. The people who got hit by Jason attacks called for help, to which Jason snapped back at reality, then looked back to apologize and explained that he didn't know what was wrong with him, but Hyacinth didn't reply. The defender named Kiyoshi arrives and tells Jason that what's wrong with him is that he's weak because he couldn't stop Atlas, and now he's afraid of a bunch of normal demons. Then he asks what kind of defender can't even keep his emotion in check, but Jason just stands up silently and angrily tells Kiyoshi that he doesn't want to get on his nerves. Kiyoshi readied his weapon and responded that he was not worried about it. Jason attacked him using sharp ice while saying he was hoping Kiyoshi will answer like that. Yoshi's weapon drips blood and looks at Jason ice while telling him that he really has lost his mind. Then he jumps back to avoid the attack. He tells Jason that ice truly does suit him because it's rigid and inflexible. Then he gets the blood of the dead demons on the ground while saying blood is fluid, constantly changing and shifting, and he'll never know where it will strike. Then he swings his weapon toward Jason and he just blocks it using ice, but many drops of blood were coming toward him, to which made him shocked. Jason avoided but got sliced a little in the face. Suddenly Kiyoshi appeared on top of him ready to attack while saying the problem with emotion as they make him blind to what's really going on. Kiyoshi tells Jason that he thought he would have learned that lesson after what happened with his father, which made Jason angry. Kiyoshi swing his weapon to attack Jason. Fortunately, Jason avoided it and asked Jason if there was really nothing he wouldn't say to get under his skin. Then Jason used his ice to create a barrier while Kiyoshi telling him that his existence is an embarrassment to the DDA, and Kiyoshi asks him why he's hiding in his shell and if he can't even face him like a real warrior. Suddenly a big sharp ice come out of the shell and attacked Kiyoshi, which made a fog and blinded Hyacinth for a moment. Jason comes out holding a big sharp ice weapon while telling Kiyoshi that he wouldn't understand what it feels like to be betrayed by the people he trusts the most, and he only fights for himself, so the DDA doesn't need someone like him. Then they jump to face and attack each other, but before they can hit each other, Jason's feet got zipped by something and lift him up the same as Kiyoshi. Hyacinth tells them that they are both disgracing the DDA. Then he shouted to Kiyoshi that he have no right to start a fight with another defender, but Kiyoshi responded that if Jason's ego is gone fragile, he shouldn't be a defender at all. Hyacinth tells him to zip it and orders him to head back to headquarters immediately because he will discuss his action with Commander Neil. Then he releases Jason and tells him that the DDA isn't going to let the unnecessary destruction of the city collateral damage to pedestrians fighting against a defender, and he won't be able to protect him. Jason responded that he promised he'll make up for his mistakes because Sasha and Atlas just distract him and he just needs to clear his head, but Hyacinth said he really do empathize with him, but His hands are tied, then he stretches his hand to Jason and ordered Jason to hand over the Imperium because his authority is hereby revoked. Jason panicky responded that he can't do that, but Hyacinth responded that his being merciful and he was doing it for his own good. Jason hand over his Imperium while Hyacinth tells him that he's no longer a defender. A few hours later, Jason's uniform and Imperium were in the cabinet. Hyacinth look at them while thinking he's really useless because he promised Jason he would do his best to protect him, but he wonder if that was really going to be enough. Suddenly, the president barges in shouting at Hyacinth and angrily asks what is he daydreaming is about. Hyacinth closed the cabinet while asking the president if there was something he wanted to discuss with him. The president told him that he said he would look out for Jason, but now he's become a liability. Hyacinth tells the president that he tell him it was a mistake to send Jason after Atlas, but the president angrily tells him not to lecture him and is lucky is one of his favorites, but he shouldn't imagine that makes him untouchable because everyone can be replaced. Then he walked away while telling Hyacinth that he better resolve it or he'll have to do it himself. Then his pet named Cam appeared on his hand. Then he asked it if it had any information for him. Cam responded to which Hyacinth pity while telling it that it did a good job. Meanwhile, Jason is lying in the room thinking about following orders, upholding the law, and fighting for justice, but he wonders how did he end up there. Then he remembers Atlas' words that he rather believe in the DDA than his own best friend, and if that is all his love is worth. Jason drinks alcohol while wondering what Atlas knows about love, and the DDA betrayed him, but Atlas is the one who betrayed him. Jason looks at the picture frame